Hey, y'all.
Hey guys.
So, subscriptions are great, especially when they're free.
Oh, I love free
So you
subscriptions.
might as well just subscribe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's free.
Yeah. There's no point in
Most of
that.
these subscriptions today cost so much money.
And this is nothing.
This is free. you know?
Just between you and me, there's a night, there's no tricks.
Welcome to Just John and April, the relationship podcast, the place to level up your relationship. In today's episode, are these growing pains? And the word of the day.
Yes.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good.
I smack a lot in the mic. You ever notice that?
do.
I do that a lot.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
And
know
do
why.
you know you've
I'm
been
not
doing
trying to-
that for years in mics.
Before, yeah, like
In
before we
mics,
had a
period.
show.
Because this is evidence. Let me tell you, this evidence that you've done that for years. When John was 2
Yes.
or 3,
Mm-hmm.
even old, 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and he would be pretending to speak.
Yeah, he would mimic me
He would
like
mimic
he's a preacher.
you like
Right.
he's a preacher, or he would, he did his little speech to, as he was trying to graduate. I mean, he was trying to run for president for
Oh, yeah, for
kindergarten,
kindergarten. Yeah,
and
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like. And I was like, wow, he
Why is he
thinks
doing
that
that?
is a part of speaking.
It is part of speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
know how I
you
know?
do. Why do you do that so much?
I don't know. You just smacked 3 times in
I
the mic.
did, but that's because we were talking about it. I really didn't mean to do that.
Oh, man.
It was just a reaction.
Yeah, probably. So I'm excited because we get to do this show, obviously, and there's been a lot going on in our relationship, and I can't wait to talk about it because, no, seriously, we've been married almost 21 years.
Spill all the beans.
All
right?
the tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been almost 21 years, and the fact that we could still be having breakthroughs in our
I know.
relationship at this point, I think is actually pretty remarkable.
It's amazing.
It is.
And that shows that couples can continue to grow regardless of how long you've been together.
Yes, but
Which
here's the thing.
Which is really a good thing.
I actually think that these same things that we're learning about our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to learn it because it's like a microscope because we're married. But this same stuff works for everybody. I think it
does,
works
it
for
does.
people who are not in relationships,
True.
meaning like you're not dating somebody.
Right.
Because everybody's in a relationship.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? You have a friend, you have a family
Listen,
member,
the
whatever.
things that we talk about is for really, if you think about it, it really is for relationships in general.
Yes,
like
I
you
agree.
really can use the tools and the tips and the ideas, the strategies
Yes.
in any relationship, even work environment.
Yes, that's right. Which is why I'm so excited about our sponsor. Our sponsor is
Yes.
Link, and they actually are a dating app, a speed dating social interaction app that allows you to go on 60-second video interactions with people in your local region or around the world. They have an event that's
Yes.
coming up pretty soon. I think it's on the 27th.
It's the 27th,
Yes.
so it's happening tomorrow.
No, I think it's the next day because this is Friday. Today
You're right. So it's Sunday.
yes, it's upcoming
the
Sunday.
event is on Sunday.
The 27th, yes. So, babe, tell us more about Link.
When I'm not in school, I
You
don't know
lose
what
everything.
day. Yeah. So Link is a virtual speed dating social interaction app. Did you just read that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
but
sorry.
Read the second part.
Well, in a world where dating apps have become the primary avenue to meet people,
Mm-hmm.
our team has created a product that allows users to see, hear, and interact prior to matching.
Yes, so our product combines the successful principles of speed dating with the natural dynamics of human interaction, all on a video platform. So what I love about this is that this is just an excuse to meet people. That's
Yeah.
really what it's
It
about.
is. And it's a new way to meet people.
Yes, it's fun. It switches it up a little bit. It's not the same old, same old.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is register at linkdatingapp.com and you can join them. I believe it's $10. You can join in this speed dating event that's happening on June the 27th. I believe at 7 p.m. Eastern is when it starts. So anyway, look at the website. You'll find out all the information you need. And we're excited about them. I think this is
Yeah,
going to
and
be good.
it is Link Dating, Link L-Y-N-K.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
Just in case you're listening only.
Just in case you're listening only.
Linkdatingapp.com.
Yeah.
Okay, babe. So our question really was, are these growing pains? And where in the world is that coming from? So you and I have been having some experiences with each other lately.
Interesting experiences.
Yes. As some people
Yeah.
know, we have a 30-day intimacy boot camp that we run now. We've done it twice this year. It's been great. We have couples who join, and they basically go through this 30-day process with us in order to boost their intimacy. And it works if you have very little intimacy in your relationship. It works if your intimacy is already good and you just want to go to another level. It's
Right.
been great. We've been enjoying our
Yes,
couples,
the
and
couples are
we just
awesome.
ended one. We just ended another 30-day sort of rotation, I guess, of this. And during that process, we usually try to go through the principles and stuff ourselves. And so we decided to come up with something. In fact, you may have watched an episode here. We just did an episode on it not too long ago on what we call now real communication.
Right.
It is honesty, transparentness, and
Transparency.
Transparency.
I like that new word though. Transparentness. Oh, that's a new word.
Honesty,
I like that.
transparency,
Transparentness.
and what's the other one, babe?
And vulnerability.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I would forget the one that I have trouble with.
Yes, and this was basically discovered by Melissa, Miss Kev on stage, and she just, I guess she said, you know, she thought about this, and
She's
she's
been
always
thinking
thinking
about
about
it.
it,
Yeah.
always thinking about these
Yeah.
types of things, and
Right.
realized that in order to have real communication, or we're saying real communication, but in order to have effective communication, you need to have meaningful
Yeah.
communication. You need to have all three of those areas. You
Yes.
need to have honesty, transparency. Actually, it's RVT, I think. I mean, HVT.
HVT, honesty, vulnerability, transparency.
I can't spell.
Yes.
Honesty, vulnerability, transparency.
I was thinking about those, the way we should make the acronym.
HVT kind of
HVT
sounds like a
sexually
sexual
transmitted disease. I don't like that.
STD. It does. I was like, HVT. Ooh. Let's see.
Whatever.
TVH.
But the point
No.
is, they're supposed to help them remember whatever it is. Honesty, transparency, vulnerability.
Right.
That works fine. So here's what happened with April and me. So we have been doing this now. We've been trying to do this honest, open, real, vulnerable, kind of communication, and it's worked.
It
But-
really has. It's worked, but it has caused some issues. I don't say issues, but it's caused some. I mean, like you said, growing pains. It's caused some pains.
Yes.
It's caused some pains, and
I would say for
caused.
about 2 weeks, we were really struggling, and we're really just coming out of it now. We were
Yeah.
really struggling with feeling like there was this tension that was there almost every day, just about every day. And I think the tension came about because we weren't used to this kind of communication. So I want to warn you that if you decide you want to do this, which I think you should do, if you decide to go down this road, it's going to be good. It's going to be helpful. It's going to be beneficial. But at first, it's going to be really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and we did talk about this on our last episode and our last podcast. And the reason why we're bringing it back up is we're not really talking about necessarily the inside of those three things,
Right.
but how it affected us
Correct.
and how it caused some growing pains, and that in relationships you're going to have moments of growing
Discomfort.
pain.
Yeah.
You know, as you try to work things out, it's not just going to be where while you're working it out, it's all,
Yes. So-
roses and candy.
Exactly. Now, here's why we
Yeah.
use this metaphor, though. So we have a son, we have a daughter as well. Both of them have grown a lot during the pandemic. Probably, I don't know, maybe John 4 or 5 inches from the beginning to the end. Maybe just 4. I don't know. Julia, a lot too. Whatever it is, Julia is now taller than April.
And John is almost taller than you.
Yes, John's like my height now. So it's kind of funny when you watch. I remember my own growth spurts that I had when I was a kid. I had 2 or 3 different ones. They were big, and I grew a lot in a little bit of time. And I remember literally physically having pain associated with those growth spurts.
And
it's
we've
almost like it was
heard-
happening so fast that
Yeah.
my body was like aching.
I mean,
because
we've
of
heard
it.
our kids talking about their knees and everything, and I'm
Right.
like, why are they? But it's because they were growing so fast.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And so what I think is the reason why I think that's a good metaphor is because for us, it felt uncomfortable. It felt like something was wrong.
Right.
And that's exactly what our kids come to
Yeah.
us feeling like, man, I'm hurting, this is happening. And then we say to them, you know what? You may be having a growth spurt. And then, for some reason, just in that moment, because John wants to be tall, and so does Julia. Julia wants to be like 5'7", I think she said.
She does.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna make it, but she's at least taller than April. That's good.
Yeah,
And you're
that is
5'5",
good.
so
Yeah,
it's not bad.
She's almost there.
Exactly. And John wants to be like 6'3" or 6'4". You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna get there either. My point is, when they hear that the pain that they are experiencing is as a result of this thing that they really, really want, then it changes their mindset and they're fine.
Okay
They don't have a
with
problem.
it. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think this happened to us. So last week we had this, maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago, baby.
We had this 2:00 in the morning discussion.
You know, y'all, those are the best ones.
We were supposed to be sleeping.
Exactly.
And we were talking, and the discussion was deep. And we were having that honest, transparent, vulnerable kind of discussion. And we said things to each other that we really haven't said before about a subject that we've been talking about for 20 years.
Exactly.
It's the same subject.
Same subject.
But we were just finally open and honest and vulnerable about it for the first time. And something happened in the middle of that conversation where April has this sort of epiphany for her, and she says, here we are helping all these couples in these boot camps, and our relationship is not doing well.
Our relationships are horrible. It's the worst ever. You know.
And
2:00 in the morning, you know.
Yes, and that was her experience right then at the time, and I thought about that. And at first, when she said it, I said, you know what? She's right. Maybe we should pull back. Maybe we should stop doing this because maybe the boot camps are causing us to focus too much on other stuff, and we're not spending enough time on our relationship.
That's that 2:00 in the morning talk.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But here's what happened. I kept thinking about it and I processed it, and I said something different. I said, babe, maybe this is something else. Maybe we're closer to a real, authentic relationship with each other. Maybe this is just growing pains. And she was like, maybe you're right.
Yeah, because I was the one that was like, we need to be done with all of this. We
Right.
don't need to be helping any more couples because we can't even help ourselves.
We're miserable.
This is terrible. And when you said that, I said, oh, wow, you know what? You're right. And that's okay.
Right.
Like, it's okay to be helping other couples and you are still going through some things and trying to get to your next level of,
Yes.
you know, and it's not like because you are coaching other couples that you're not going to have to stop and remember some of those things that you have been using
Right.
for your own relationship. And so
Correct.
that was the whole point. When you said that, I was like, wow, you're right. This is a time that we are going through a transition.
Yes.
I think, you know, transitions are even painful.
Of course.
Moving,
Yes.
transitioning to a new job.
Yes.
You know, those things can be painful. And so I think this was a transition for us, a much needed transition, because it's like, here we are teaching about communication and everything, but really there was, I'm telling you that I feel like it was just the Lord that had us, you know, come across Miss Kev on stage talking about this.
Definitely.
Because it has just opened up. I say this, and I said this in the last podcast too, in that I feel freer now. I feel freed in my marriage a little bit more, and I feel like you should continue to free yourself of things as
Yes.
you go along. But
Yes.
I feel freer in that I can really share what I'm really feeling, and we both know that that's what we're doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
Because
we're
if
committed
I-
to this new thing.
Yeah, because if
Yeah.
I just choose to do this and you don't,
Right.
it's not going to be as effective, because
Right.
then you're going to get defensive, you're going to have your feelings hurt, you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, whatever, while, you know, because that's
Yeah.
really what was happening before.
Yes, I agree.
You know,
and,
we were holding back
and
so
actually,
that
it was
we
kind of
wouldn't
a
have
vicious cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the thing about this transition, this growing time. What's great about it is we're starting to see the other side of it now. So now we're benefiting from, so the discomfort that lasted 2 weeks was really tough. And now we're benefiting from the new thing that we have now, which is open, honest, and real communication with each other.
Yes.
And let me tell you how that played out. It just happened like literally the other day. So I'm about to go on a trip. I'm going out of town tomorrow night, and I'll be gone for a few days. And I was supposed to play golf with my cousin today. There's some stuff that I've been watching on video that I want to practice, and I haven't played golf since I watched the video. The video basically tells me this new stuff that I need to try to do to make my swing better. This one video I just watched it this morning. You were sleeping, and it says something about I could get 20 extra yards by just doing this one thing. It's pretty great. Anyway, so I was planning on going to play
that.
with my cousin to practice that, and I was trying to get it in. Well, the problem is because I'm going out of town for so many days, we have a lot more work that we have to do before I go. There's a bunch of stuff. We got to, record multiple episodes in a row and all kinds of stuff that we have to do before I leave, because when I'm gone, we can't do it, right? So I was saying to April, let me figure out how to still get this work in. Maybe we can stay up tonight. I said this last night. Maybe we can stay up tonight and get this in, and then tomorrow I can still play. And she said something to me that wasn't honest or vulnerable.
So I still have to get used to that.
True. But here's what's so beautiful, though. Because we're practicing this new thing, even when April is not being honest or vulnerable in her communication, I know what to look for, and I looked past what she was actually saying to what she really wanted to communicate, which is, here's what she wanted to communicate to me yesterday. You're already going to be gone for the next 4 days. I want to have as much time with you as I can before you leave.
Yeah.
She didn't say that. She said something else that was sarcastic and that was under her
bad.
breath, kind of.
No,
it wasn't that bad.
I didn't do under my breath.
There was a little piece that felt like it was a little, I don't know what word I want to use.
Under-breathy?
Yes.
Okay.
But the point is this, though. What you should have done is just said to me, you know what,
I
babe?
really want every moment that I can have with you before you leave.
Yes. I need every single moment. You're going to be gone
I'm going to miss you. We are not usually away from each other for this many days, that kind of thing. Well, it's so funny.
How come you didn't do that?
It's hilarious because, I think I'm like, we've been married this long. I should be able to say that. But in my heart, really, it's like, I don't want to be embarrassed. And I guess that's the vulnerability part. And I think that's the hardest part for me because I don't want to be embarrassed.
Now, embarrassed by having to say that, or embarrassed by my reaction?
Embarrassed by what your reaction might be. And I know you love me and you want to spend time with me. But if I say, let's say I said that and you were like, we've been together every day this week.
Right.
That would have jacked me up. You see what I'm saying? Then I'll be like, man, I put myself out there and you just diss me. So I think that is the hardest part for a lot of people, that vulnerability part. You're putting your heart out there and then the person says, well, I don't want to be with you anyway. Or, I've been with you enough. I need a break. Right. Whatever. Even if you didn't say those words, that's how it would feel.
Right.
Like, we've been together every day this week. That just would have crushed me.
But I didn't say that. Instead,
I know it. I know you did not.
I
but
looked
what I'm
past
saying
it and
is,
figured out
yes,
what it is we were trying to communicate.
Look past it.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have to do this. So I texted my cousin. I was like, you know what, man? We'll do it when I get back.
Yeah.
It's fine. So here's the point. This new commitment has made it so that, we've been uncomfortable for 2 weeks, but now I know what to look for.
So you're identifying it without me even saying it. You're
even
identifying
if you
what I
don't do
really
a good
want to say.
job at communicating open and honest and vulnerable and transparent.
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing that, I know what to look for now, and I'm able to see, okay, I see what she's really trying to do here. Yeah. So I really feel like this is beautiful. I'm loving this new thing.
Yes.
I'm feeling like that 2 weeks it felt like a growth spurt. It felt like we progressed very quickly in that area, but it was very tough.
Really did.
It was a lot of hard work. And it's still not over, because you see, it's not like we just automatically do this every time now. We're not always still communicating right or well.
Well, the thing about it is you've been doing it that way. We've been doing it that way for so
20-something
long
years.
that it's in you.
Yes.
It was just automatic in me to be like, because at first I said, you do whatever you want to
do.
do.
You did. Your first response was, go ahead, do whatever you want,
Go ahead,
babe.
do whatever
but
you want,
said,
babe.
when you said, I was like, she don't mean that.
And I didn't.
Right.
But then I kind of did. I was like, you know what, let me just let him make the decision. He might, whatever. But what I really wanted, to be honest with you, what I really wanted is for you to say, I want to spend
about to be gone
every
all this
moment
time.
with you
Yes,
before
right,
I leave.
right.
And so I thought me saying, do whatever you want to do, you would be
You
like.
would catch the hint. I would catch the hint.
Not even catch the hint. I was hoping you think about it and say, oh man, you know what? I'm going to be gone for 5 days, 4 days, whatever. I mean, let me spend the last couple days with my family, But you didn't pick that up.
Right.
Or maybe because you really don't feel that way.
No, it wasn't that at all.
See, and I don't want you to, and this is another thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I do not want you ever to feel forced because you see what I'm saying, and you know
Yes.
how married men sometimes say stuff like the whole ball and chain and all that. I'm not trying to be the
You
ball
don't want to
and
be
chain.
a ball and chain.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
You,
like
you
I'm
want
so
our
not trying to be like
interactions
that.
to feel like we both want
We
to do
both
this.
want
This
to
is
do it, and
fun,
if you
all
had
that kind of
gone,
stuff.
I would have been fine. Seriously,
right.
I would have just, it's not like I have no life without you. That's not what I
right.
mean.
Of course not.
But
Yeah.
it was the point that you were leaving. But I wanted it to be that you wanted to do that. So
Right,
that's the
right,
question: do you
right.
really want to do that, or are you like?
Yes.
You know.
When I thought about it that way, I
That's the
said to
real question.
myself, you know what? That's true. I'm about to be gone from you for all those days. I'm going to miss you.
Yeah.
I want to soak up all the time that I have with you before I go.
Okay.
So there's no question about it. I am literally all there wanting that all the way. You know what I'm saying? But this leads us to our word of the day.
It does.
We have a word of the day today, which I think is a good one. The word is perpetual.
Perpetual.
Perpetual. What's perpetual mean, babe?
Sorry, I'm just caught up in the music. Continuing forever, everlasting.
Wow.
I like that.
Now, the reason why we chose this word is really because when it really comes down to it, we should be always growing in our relationship.
Yes.
It shouldn't be something that just happens once in a while. I think there will be times when you're going to have growth spurts where you'll have sort of a concentrated time where things are happening rapidly, truncated, all together, back to back for a period.
Right.
And that's
right.
okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be where we're only growing during our growth spurt times.
Exactly.
I think it should be perpetual. We
It
should
should
be
be
always trying to
continuing
grow.
forever. It should be everlasting. You're constantly growing.
Yes.
So we should be having moments of, those growth spurts should be going on every so often. You've got a little spurt there that takes place because you're working on your relationship.
Yes.
So it's going to continue to,
I think there are going to be times like we had where basically you have a period of time where you're working on something in particular that might challenge your relationship in a way that it normally doesn't.
Right.
I think we can have incremental growth all the time where it's a little here, little there, whatever. But there are going to be times where it's all concentrated. And when that happens, we don't want you to think that there's something wrong with your relationship. It might just be growing pains.
It's just growing pains.
And
Just a
there's nothing wrong
growth
with that.
spurt.
Yes.
Man, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? Going through this and thinking about it in that way actually makes it easier to go through that particular situation.
I agree.
Because in your mind, you know what? This is just a growth spurt. This is just growth pains.
Just like the kids.
Let me
As soon as
have
we
a-
tell them
let
it's
me-
growing pains,
right,
they're like,
your
oh man.
attitude changes.
They actually like it now.
But
They're glad their
seriously,
knees are
your-
hurting.
You know what? Your mindset. It's
It
really
makes a
about the
difference,
mind
man.
frame, the
It really
mindset.
is. It really is. You're right. It makes a huge difference.
Wow. So feeling that should be with the thought of we're growing. This is just a growth spurt. Now let's get through this in the right way. Like
Yeah.
let's really try to get through this in an effective way.
Yeah.
So that you can move out of that growth spurt because you don't want to stay in it.
Right.
You're not trying to stay in them growth pains.
I'm saying the growing
Growing
pains are
pains.
supposed to last a short period of time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Then
maybe,
you grow.
maybe 2 weeks.
You actually grow.
Exactly. You're supposed to actually be growing.
That's right.
So I'm trying to do that perpetually with you, babe. I want to keep
Yeah.
growing. So thank you for being such a wonderful person and for putting up with me.
Well, you know what? I really appreciate you seeing and hearing what I was really trying to say. And you actually acting on that instead of what I actually said.
I'm going to keep trying to work on that too.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys.